As long as the we, we don't come late with that weird garment, Lord. So help us,
Okay, beautiful. All right, you can hear me, right? We're good? Beautiful. All right.
clear.
So we're gonna start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of great millstones who rule well, all right, and have taught us word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the whole full elect, starting with the 144,000, all right, that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, so G-Man's Toronto once again coming at you another live lesson. In today's class, we're gonna get into well, it's gonna be another edition of Doomsday Prophecy. Okay, and the only title that kept coming to my mind was, and it keeps getting worse. All right, and it just keeps getting worse. That's just how. This is what it is. All right, this is what it is, and I'm not saying that in the sense of boo-hoo for us. Okay, I'm saying that in the sense of boo-hoo for you.
That's right.
I mean, you that don't believe. All right, the you that are rebellious, you Israelites are rebellious, you don't believe, and you scoff on the Lord's word. For those of us that do believe, all right, this is exciting times that we're in.
That's right.
Our lives haven't been more exciting than now, this very moment. Because why? We're that much closer to prophecy. Or not prophecy, sorry. We're in prophecy. But we're that much closer to the downfall of our enemy, Esau, Edom, his wicked empire, with Babylon the Great being America, and the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, man. All at once. Okay? So for you everyday people, man, you civilians, both Israel and not, it just keeps getting worse and worse for you. And that's how it's gonna go. Malak, you got a precept you want to open up with?
Khan, because you hit it right on the head, no doubt about it, man. And we're watching this kingdom going down. So I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah. This is a staple, the 14th chapter, and I'd like to read it today from the NLT. Okay, 3 verses, straightforward from the NLT. We usually read it out in the KJV, but they use a little different words in the primary verse, which is 21st verse of Isaiah 14. But I'm going to read from 20 to 23. But the point is in 21 in regards to getting worse. Boo-hoo for you leaders and leader of the Assyrians. So anyway, let me just get into it. So it says here, this is Isaiah 14 and 20. It says, you will not be given a proper burial, right? For you have destroyed your nation and slaughtered your people. Okay? The descendants of such an evil person will never again receive honor. Right? Now, when you go into this, when you read up in this chapter real quick, it prefaces what Esau, Edom is doing to the nation of Israel, and namely the elect. How he comes against them. That's part of the action, and then a few of the verses go into the deliverance and the destruction. So destruction for Esau, Edom, that's what we're looking at, and deliverance for Israel, namely starting with the elect on this side. Okay, so this is his fate here. Verse 21 coming up. It says, "Kill this man's children." Okay, let them die because of their father's sins. They must not rise and conquer the earth, filling the world with their cities. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Now I'm just gonna read right to the end, and then we can go into it after. Simply put, verse 22, Isaiah 14:22.
Salake,
Okay, take your time.
just want to speak real quick on verse 21 as it says, kill this man's children, right? We know it's pointing to Esau, Edom, right? His descendants. let them die because of their father's sins. So you average everyday Edomites today, that's what's coming upon you. It's getting worse and worse and worse for you, and Jake as well, 2/3 of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically talking to you Edomites, is getting worse and worse for you because of your forefathers, okay, and because your leaders who don't give
That's right.
two shits about you.
That's
Okay, they
right.
don't even consider you a part of their nation, even though you are one nation in total, in totality. Okay. But it says, let them die because of their family sins,
Mm-hmm.
the father's sins, sorry. They must not rise and conquer the earth as they've done today, okay, filling the world with their cities. Because what comes with Esau, Edom's domain? Wickedness, right? Perversion,
That's right.
okay? And that's basically has been spread out to the four corners of the earth via America, Babylon the Great. That is the mecca of all wickedness. So for there to be no evil on the earth, okay, and wickedness is not spread, it's not rampant on the earth, these people have to go down. And America has to be destroyed. Okay.
Beautiful point. When it says let them die because of their father's sins, simply put, these people, when we tell them that they are their fathers, because this is a dark saying, but it's exposed already, it's revealed to who would receive it, which is starting with the elect. But this is going into them coming back and doing the same thing that they're doing, because Esau cannot change who he is. But anyway, the point is, this verse is going into reincarnation as well, that the wicked is here. The wicked was always with us, right? And he is his father's children. Okay,
Hmm.
that is back here today again. If you can understand what I just say there, for you folks who are not
Yeah, you
familiar
come
with
back
this,
every generation.
that's right.
Yeah,
Simply put, yeah, yeah,
you come back every
straight.
generation, and just like you said, these people of this generation, they are their forefathers. Hey, we highly, and it makes sense in the spirit. This generation right now has to be the same generation when Yahushua was on the scene 2,000 plus years ago. Okay. In the spirit, it makes sense because he arrived, all right, at that time, um, to the worst generation of that time. Okay. Especially in imperial Rome.
That's right.
Okay. So Rome was an empire at that point. It wasn't just a republican or a republic. Okay, it was an empire. So he came when it was at its height. So it's no coincidence that Yahweh Shai is also going to come in the extended leg of Rome, of the Roman Empire. Okay, and he said this is a wicked and perverse generation. If
That's right.
that generation was wicked and perverse, then what's this generation? That and then some. Okay.
And
Anyway, go ahead.
Antiochus, a wicked man. When you go into the book, it says that 10 times in the Apocrypha. It says not 10 times, but super wicked. So there's we're going to see everything, and it multiplied in wickedness. Right? It's just gonna wax worse and worse and worse. Anyway, let's see who's going to do the killing here. Isaiah 14:22. The scripture says this from the NLT. It says, "This is what the Lord of armies, Lord of heaven's armies, says." Right? And when you read this, know that this is our Savior. Right? This is our Savior here, the Lord of heaven's army. The Lord of heaven's army. I myself have risen against Babylon. I will destroy its children and its children's children, says the Lord. So we can clearly see who's going to do the killing, right? And we've been hearing the talk, right, about UFOs coming. Okay,
Yep. And it starts with the
I'm going
most
to
high
say on that.
Yahweh.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Simply put, this, if I may say, the number one Lord of Heaven's armies, and this is number two right here, if I may say, right, that we're reading. Okay, and he will be with him. Last verse, Isaiah 14:23 NLT. I will make Babylon a desolate place of owls, filled with swamps and marshes, and I will sweep the land with the broom of destruction. I the Lord of Heaven's army have spoken it. Okay? So, simply put, so that's what's going on, right? We get in trouble for just reading these scriptures, but that's okay, right? Because the deceived and the deceiver are his. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yep. And this is going into the ultimate destruction.
That's right.
Right, by the that I will sweep the land. In the King James says that, I'm pretty sure it says the besom of destruction. All right, to sweep. So he's going to sweep the land, because when the missiles comes, America's going to be a country-sized garbage can. Okay. All right, with a whole bunch of waste. You're going to have dead bodies, broken buildings, animals roaming the streets. It's just going to be completely tarnished and garbage, completely taken down. All right. So to clean up the mess, to clean that up, the Lord's going to sweep, just like you do in your house. When you got a bunch of dirt and dust in the house, what do? You sweep it up into the pan, you throw it in the garbage. Most High is going to take it further than that. He's going to allow ICBM missiles, hypersonic missiles to pelt America, destroy America, and completely eradicate and evaporate everything that's on that land. Okay, that's in that country.
That's right.
That's what this is going into. All right, so we got this clip here. This is from Epic Economist. All right, and the title of his video is "The Job Market Collapse Has Begun." Okay, and it has been going on for a bit now, really. Okay, it's just now getting even worse and worse and worse, just like the title says. All right, so fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, this video is not being used to make money from it. All right, we're only sharing this video for educational purposes only. Okay, so fair use, fair use, fair use.
We learned this morning that job growth in the past 3 months has all but ended. There were
Oh,
Hear the video?
no, I didn't hear it.
No, you didn't hear it? Okay.
Not yet.
Let me see if you can hear it.
just 22,000 new jobs created last month. And new revised data showed the economy actually lost jobs in June.
No?
Yeah, I hear it now.
You hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just heard it. Go ahead. Take your time.
Okay, I'll start it over.
Learning that job growth in the past 3 months has all but ended. There were just 22,000 new jobs created last month. And new revised data showed the economy actually lost jobs in June.
It's not time to panic. Everything is still fine. At least that's what all the economists are trying to make you believe right now, after we just got yet another horrible jobs report. But let me tell you what's really going on here, because the numbers don't lie, even if the politicians do. In August 2025, employers only added 22,000 jobs. 22,000. For a country of 340 million people, that's absolutely nothing. And the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.3%, and that's before any revisions come in. And trust me, those revisions are always negative. They hardly ever get revised up. Look, we've had 4 months in a row of significantly lower job growth. And all we keep hearing from the Fed is, oh, the economy is great, the job market's still strong. But guys, we are far from fine.
Yep, it's true. That's true. He's right. We are very far from fine. Well, you people are far from fine. And it's true. The politicians lie and tell you what. Well, let's get to precept. Everything's okay, right? Let's see, where are you here? Come on now. Jeez. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's lucky for that. Jeez.
That's all
So
good.
this is yeah, First Thessalonians 5:3. Okay. For when they shall say peace and safety,
Mm-hmm.
then sudden destruction cometh upon them,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
travail upon a woman with child. Okay. So sudden. Why? Because basically only the hopeful elect have the eyesight to see what's coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And to make sense of any of all the events that are playing out on the earth and the schemes and tactics of the top wicked elite, all right, and the ruling elite under them, only the hopeful elect have the eyesight, all right, to make sense of all these things. The rest of you don't know what the hell's going on. You see what's going on, but you don't know why it's going on. You have your conspiracy so-called theories, okay, but you have your guesses. But bottom line is you have no hope, okay, because the majority of people, okay, on this planet, their minds are completely relied upon Esau Edom's system. All right, the only ones that are not um, relying upon Esau Edom are the hopeful elect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as they say, peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, so think of it like this: just when it looks like there's a way out, all right, that is just an entrance, all right, into a
Deep.
more harsher reality than you're currently in,
That's right.
a more severe and difficult reality than you're currently in. Case in point, they're getting everybody, as we're watching this video, you're going to see in this clip, he's going to talk about automation, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what I perceive, all right, is that in spirit, of course, there's going to be a cry out and there's a loss for all these jobs. But guess what's going to come in as a so-called bomb for the pain, which it won't be a bomb for the pain, is that universal UBI, that universal base income. Okay, less job, no jobs. All the jobs are taken by bots. You have all these people who need money. All right, so let's just fix the problem by giving everybody a universal allowance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyways,
Can I get
continue
this
on this
one?
video.
Can I get this
Yeah,
one real
sure.
quick on the lies? Because this is Jeremiah 27. You know what? It says here NET. Let me just fix the thing. Jeremiah 27, and I'm going to read it today from the KJV. Okay, 27 and 14. Right. So it says, okay. It says, therefore, this is Jeremiah 27 and 14 KJV. It says, therefore, hearken not to the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, you shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. Right? So I'm just saying spiritual. So for they're all liars, right? And to prove that, it says there in the 15th verse of Jeremiah 27 and 15, it says, for I have not sent them, saith Yahweh. Right? Bashem Yahushai, yet they prophesy a lie in my name. Okay, that I might drive you out, okay, and that you might perish, and that the prophets that prophesy unto you. Right now, when you read this in the NET, it says it like this. This is interesting. Verse 15. Let me just read it from the NET, okay, because it did send me there originally, but I just wanted to see what it looked like from KJV, verse 15. But this is it from the NET, Jeremiah 27 and 15. It says, for I, the Lord, it's italicized, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, affirmed that I did not send them. They are prophesying lies to you. If you listen to them, I will drive you and the prophets who are prophesying lies out of the land. You see? And that's the fate anyway, because they cannot change. They're going to be driven out in destruction. And you will all die in exile. That's the point.
That's right. And
Lies.
basically
It's all
going
lies.
into these false prophets of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they're telling you the opposite of what we're telling you. So the Lord is letting you know that if you listen to them, He's going to you and those prophets are going to die in exile. And guess what? We're in exile right now. We're not in our land. Okay, so that which is then is now.
That's right. When one live, one die.
Con.
Okay, that's it. Beautiful.
The job market is at a complete enemy is great. The job market's still strong. But guys, we are far from fine. The job market is at a complete standstill and showing no signs of improving anytime soon. But what happens when someone with decades of real experience tries to navigate this wasteland?
3,000. That's the number of jobs I've applied to as of today. 3,000 jobs.
You hear that?
Wow.
This man applied to 3,000 jobs.
I can't believe it, but it's true. Wow.
That's
Wow.
crazy. I wanna know how he did that. He definitely used chat to help.
Yeah,
'Cause that's crazy.
That's all AI.
You know, I have applied to 3,000 jobs, and he's with 25 years of experience. So listen to what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
During the course of the year and a half that I've been out of work after a injury that happened on the job, 1,000 jobs. 3,000. That's the number of jobs I've applied to as of today. 3,000 jobs. During the course of the year and a half that I've been out of work after a injury that happened on the job, trying to find another job has been so difficult. Now, mind you, I have 25 years experience as a sales manager, 29 years as an event manager. I'm well overqualified for any job I apply to, but yet for some reason, over the course of me applying to 3,000 jobs, I've only had 9 interviews, and I've had maybe 15 callbacks, and all the other ones are fake. These days, you have to actually look at the actual website versus Indeed or LinkedIn, but both of those sites are basically worthless.
Oh, nice.
They're now becoming social media sites where it's more about popularity versus an actual job. So I'm just putting it out there. Tomorrow is my birthday. So it would be really nice if I could find work. So I'm putting it out there to the gods above. There's only so much resources that I can use before I run out of money. And frankly, the market is that bad. Is anybody else having that problem? I'd love to hear your story. I don't know if you've applied to 3,000 jobs. Have a nice day.
This is what I'm talking about when I see the system has completely broken down. When someone with that much experience becomes just another resume in the digital void, you know we've crossed into economic warfare against working people. The reality is we haven't seen jobs numbers this bad since the Great Recession. But here's what's different this time. It's not
Exactly. And you know what's interesting about that Great Recession? If you go back to the 1920s, the Great Depression, not the recession, sorry, the Great Depression.
Great Depression. Okay.
What came from the Great Depression? Your SIN numbers, SIN cards, all right, and
SIN numbers, SIN cards.
SIN numbers, SIN cards. Let me ask chat. I forgot what came out of the SIN cards.
SIN card came in the 60s.
Let me ask chat here real quick to correct myself. Did the SIN card and SIN number come after or out of the Great Depression? And what else followed by the SIN card and SIN number came that aligned with the two? The reason why I'm bringing this out because I'm drawing parallels from then to now. Okay. Inside question. So let's see.
30s. Okay.
Yeah, 30s, right? So U.S. in the United States, or us in the United States, U.S. 1930s, Great Depression era, the massive economic collapse, 1929 to 1939, led to unemployment, bank failures, and social unrest. Okay, this should sound familiar. The Social Security Act, that's what it was. 1935, Social Security Act. Under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, New Deal, the U.S. government establishes the Social Security number, SSN, system, purpose to track workers' earnings and provide retirement and unemployment benefits. So, okay, it's saying in the U.S. So in the U.S. it was 1930s. In Canada, it was as well in the 1930s and 40s. So it gives us here a timeline. So in the 1930s and 1940s was Social Security. All right. In the 1940s and 50s was birth certificates and national registrations standardized. And national registries standardized. In the 1960s, was SIN and CPP.
The card came.
Yeah, Medicare system. So
Actual card.
the parallels. Look at this. It says in 1970s and 80s, computerization of records. So you're seeing that there was. Anyways, let me continue on. Slake. Let me continue. It says 1990s to 2000s digital
Beautiful.
identification
Beautiful.
tax integration CRA. And it says 2010s to the present digital ID and biometric programs.
That's right.
You see?
That's where we are.
That's it. That's where we are, man. Oh, look at that. This is interesting. It says underlining theme, control through identification. The philosophy that birthed the SIN system came from economic desperation.
Oh.
You see? We're in economic desperation right now, about to hit the height of it. And guess what's going to come out of it? Guess what's going to come out of that as a so-called savior and a so-called bomb for the pain? Exactly. An NWO, all right, followed by entry into the NWO via C-hip. Okay,
That's
a micro
right.
C-hip under your skin. So it says, I'll read it again. The philosophy that birthed the SIN system came from economic desperation.
Desperation. That's right.
It evolved into a mechanism of population registration and monitoring. Okay. In essence, the Great Depression justified social safety nets. Social safety nets required identification and tracking systems. Identification systems evolved into national debt-based and digital control. So the SIN and the SSN were early seeds of what today are becoming digital economic identities. Tools once meant for welfare, now functioning as gateways to participate in social, banking, in society, banking, taxes, employment, healthcare. See? So, yes, there you have it, man. There you have it, okay?
Wow. I have the word desperation as a noun real quick because that's a powerful word that they put in there. But I just wanted to share one nugget of it. It says this real quick. Desperation from the Etam Online. It says a lack or loss of hope. Okay, and then it puts here in brackets, especially in God's mercy. Right, a sense now obsolete. That's the point I wanted to bring. So, just in case for you people that are dead asleep, we'll say it to you. It's straightforward, the progression in where we are, and it's real, right? If you think the new world order is going to be some walk in the park, good luck to you, right? Because it's a desperate situation, and what you had before is not coming back. In other words, it's not going to go back to what it was, based on what was said there, real quick. So it says a sense of now obsolete. See, desperation. Okay, this is where we are. It's not going back to what it was. The good old days. Anyway, that's the point. You people can look up the word.
So
that's it. Go ahead, brother.
Let's continue here.
You know, we've crossed into economic warfare against working people. The reality is we haven't seen jobs numbers this bad since the Great Recession. But here's what's different this time. It's not just affecting blue-collar workers or just one industry. It's hitting everyone. And I mean everyone. And the solutions that worked in 2008 won't work now. And it's not just individuals suffering. Entire families are...
Yeah, so that's the spirit. So what you said was the spirit. The things that worked in 2008 won't work for this one. Why? Because it only gets worse. Okay? It's only going to get worse for you unbelievers. You nobodies. You're really nobodies. All right? And I say this with modesty because the Hawarajas are of the hopeful elect. And especially to you rebellious Israelites, man. It's only going to get worse for you. But for the whole full length, it keeps getting better and better and better.
Ecclesiastes 12:3. I was going to bring that out real quick, but I'll wait until the video's finished.
Let's finish this and then you can bring it up.
Yeah, take your time.
It's hitting everyone. And I mean everyone. And the solutions that worked in 2008 won't work now. And it's not just individuals suffering. Entire families are being torn apart by this crisis.
So on today's episode of How Fucked Am I, me and my husband are both unemployed. I am by choice, I'm a stay-at-home mom to twins who are under the age of 5. So daycare would cost more than what I would even make. He was laid off. He was in the tech industry. He was laid off about 3 months ago, and he hasn't had any bite. And we have a mortgage, and we have debt, and we have bills to pay. We're trying to figure out, how are we going to survive?
Her husband was in the tech industry. Okay, so I've heard that getting into tech and computer science is the way to go because of this fourth industrial revolution that we're in. All right. Being into tech or computer science is the way to go. Jobs are safe, but I guess not. Okay. A lot of people being laid off. Why? Because what you do in tech, AI can do it 100, if not 1,000 times better and quicker.
3,000
for a fraction of the price what it costs to pay you. Okay.
3,000.
But do we even want to survive in this system? And we don't want to fucking pay taxes to genocide. We don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to send our kids to school to get one alive. But we don't want to send them to school to learn about bullshit systems that aren't even going to help them. The American dream is dead. What are we getting out of it? We're renting our life from banks and insurance companies and the healthcare industry. So do I just sell the house? Do we just try and get as much equity as we can? Just go find a visa somewhere. Hopefully somewhere will take us. Do we, we're just starting over. I feel like I'm a child. I feel like I'm starting all over from the beginning again.
If you leave America, I mean, at least you might not get touched by the missiles, depending on where you go. But in terms of the condition of job loss, famine, pestilence, violence, you can't escape that. You can't hide from Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Okay? The scriptures say his eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun.
Finding out a new career path. I was a lash artist since 2012. And it's I can't charge people $90 for a fill. Who's going to pay that in this economy? It's just do we just buy a trailer, go live off the land? I don't know anymore. I'm fucking crashed out.
It's crazy, man. Can you hear the vanity of these people, man? Because $100 on eyelash fills, right? But that's America. Okay, $100. She said $90 to fill her eyelashes. She's like, who has the money to spend on that in this economy? Doesn't matter what economy you're in. Why are you spending $100 on filling your lashes? But hey, it's America. What else do you expect? It's Babylon the Great, all right? The woman with the filthy cup full of abominations. Okay.
Here's how she went from talking about survival to questioning whether they even want to participate in this system anymore. That's not just unemployment stress. That's the sound of the social contract breaking down.
Exactly. Okay. Now, real quick, let me get this precept from the comment board. Shalom to the sincere brothers, all right, and sisters on the comment board. Shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatah. This is from the brother Required, Flowing Broke, Psalms 37 and 25. I have been young, and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. So we're going to be good, all right? The whole full life are going to be good. Their seed, their children will not be begging for bread while all these catastrophes and calamities are taking place.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, I real quick just wanted to grab this here.
Take your time.
Isaiah 19.
Take your time, brother.
And New English Translation, eh? The NET. So you found a new translation?
Yeah. Because I asked it a question, the machine, and it gave me that one in the way I asked the question, right?
I see.
You know how it goes, right? It gives you that one precept from the NET. So yeah.
Yeah, con. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna keep this in the King James. I shouldn't get an NLT. NLT, it says here, Isaiah 19 and 3. We always bring this out. You probably hear this a couple dozen times a day. But hey, that's the spirit, man.
That's the spirit.
So Isaiah 19 and 3, it reads, the Egyptians, all right, will lose heart. Okay. and I will confuse their plans. All right, and when you look up, there's nothing but pure confusion in America, man. Just pure confusion. Okay. So it says the Egyptians will lose heart, and I will confuse their plan. They will plead with their idols for wisdom, and call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult the spirits of the dead. Right. So all their spiritual leaders, gurus, pastors, even Israelite leaders, so on and so forth. Okay. So it says, I will I will hand Egypt over to a hard and cruel master. A fierce king will rule them, says the Lord Yahweh of heaven's armies. Okay, but the main point was verse 3. Okay, that they will lose heart.
They will lose heart.
The Egyptians will lose heart. So the spirit, actually, King James was a little bit better. In verse 3, King James, it says the spirit. Yeah, exactly. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to their idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So the spirit of Egypt is failing, all right? You can see it. Because once you can't rely on your government or the system created by your government, what do you rely on? Well, you're going to rely on yourself. And what is man? All right? And man is nothing but ashes and earth, okay?
That's right.
What is man against the divine judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai? But for the hopeful elect, our hope has been and always will be, all right, and will continue to be in Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's why the Lord said, "My servant will eat, all right, ye will hunger, all right, my servants will drink, and ye will thirst." Roughly paraphrasing.
That's right.
That's it on that.
Beautiful. Yeah. Traffic. Yeah, traffic is. It's always. Babylon is perpetrated on traffic, and as we can clearly see, based on what I'm going to read here, real quick, if I may just go to Ecclesiastes 12:3. Right, and the precept just came out in regards to the elect, how the Lord is going to preserve the elect. But I'm just going to get to the point in this. All right.
Fine.
So 12:3. So point in verse 4 says, this is from the KJV. Let me just make sure I tap on it. Yep. Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Right. Right. We're in that time. And the strong men shall bow themselves. Right. And we're gonna watch this be more prevalent, this part of the prophecy. We're watching the keepers now, right? They're in great confusion. And it says, and the grinders cease, okay, because they are few, right? And those that look out of the windows be darkened, right? And simply put, right, we're seeing this decline. It's just getting worse, no doubt about it, right? 3,000, I mean, this is just one person. Okay, that's crying. Anyway, here's a point. Verse 4, right? And the doors shall be shut in the streets. This is what we're looking for when the markets will come to crash. That's why brother mentioned at the beginning of this conversation in regards to 1920 and how it's waxing worse and worse, right? And the chat brought up 1930s, which is fine. So it says, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So yes, that's every aspect of Babylon is in trouble.
Yep.
Every aspect, entertainment, you name it, on and on and on. And if you can't see it,
Babylon.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
No, I'm just gonna say that you Babylonians have been duped. All right.
That's right.
From the top down.
You've been lied.
From the top Babylonian, all right, that's not in on it's not initiated on the left-hand side, or even they that are initiated on the left-hand side. Okay, I'll just say this: there is those of you that especially you Jakes, all right, that have sold out to Esau Edom to live a better life, all right, in captivity. You've been duped. Why? Because even Hollywood now, because it says the daughters of music shall be brought low. Hollywood is in an uproar a little bit because you have AI. You have this AI musician, not musician, or artist, okay? And she's looking to be signed by certain different what do you call it? Studios, different
Yeah.
studios. Okay. You got actors, AI actors or
Mhm.
actresses. Okay, both genders. So you know that's you people in Hollywood, the music industry, and entertainment industry. You've all been duped. Okay, you're gonna take the C hit, all right, just to be complete robots, even more so than you are now. And you
Mhm.
average everyday Babylonians, you've been completely dipped. You believe in this American dream, okay? Just to be found, just to be told the whole thing was a lie, but you established and predicated your life, your children's future upon a lie,
That's right.
okay?
Every
You know what
aspect.
that does to someone's psyche, a person's psyche, when they realize, well, we're about to find out. We're
Mhm.
finding out right now, okay? And we're gonna find out quickly. So the whole American population, all right, have been duped, and only the hopeful elect, all right, are the ones that can see right through the lies.
That's right. The almond tree will flourish. That's the only thing. That's the next verse, um, uh, 12 and 5. Only the almond tree will flourish. Simply put, that's pointing
Sure.
to it's a code for us to understand who the elect is. You're able to see it, and the Lord's going to guide them through it.
Yeah, the
Okay.
elect of the almond tree that's gonna
Mhm.
flourish.
That's right. Mhm.
Let me get this here, and that was it on this.
But yeah, that's it. That's it. Straight.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's Ecclesiastes 5. Get this in the NLT. Ecclesiastes 5, and I'll start at 8. It says, so it's King Solomon speaking. It says, "Don't be surprised if you see a poor person being oppressed by the powerful, and if justice is being miscarried throughout the land."
See?
Okay? For every official is under orders from higher up, and matters of justice get lost in red tape and bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Okay? Matters of justice get lost in red tape and bureaucracy. And this is why the average everyday American is getting duped and screwed over. Okay? Because there's no true justice. Justice, all right, doesn't just apply to violence and physical means, but also
Yeah.
applies to jobs. It applies to wages.
That's right.
Okay? So on and so forth. So it says, verse 9, even the king, okay, milks the land for his own profit. You see? So you people are being milked for your profit. And it's not like you think it would make more sense to milk they that are rich, right? Because they're rich. They have it.
Mhm. Yeah,
They can
right.
afford it. They can afford to be milked. But no, it's you average everyday people, the working class that's busting ass, working 2 jobs, 10-hour, 12-hour shifts, losing sleep,
Hmm.
failing in your relationships because of work, stressed out, overweight. They're siphoning money from you.
Hmm. Well, cattle,
Okay,
right?
so
They're cattle,
yeah,
right?
cattle.
And
That's right.
and they can be hacked.
Yep,
They can be
hackable beans.
hacked.
So let me read this again. It says, verse 9, even the king milks the land for his own profit.
Beautiful.
Okay. Now I'm gonna pull this off from chat
Uh-huh.
because I went into that verse a little bit just to get a little bit more insight. Um,
Mother's milk.
so here
Mhm.
it says, so for verse 8, so it says, don't be surprised if you see a poor person oppressed by the powerful.
Mhm.
Solomon, the preacher, is putting out the corruption and systematic injustice that occurs in human governments. The people, yeah, because really, true government, right, true happiness, true joy, true peace comes from divine government,
That's
not
right.
government, but not human government.
Human
Okay, and
government.
that's what's going to be established on earth is divine government, all right, via Yahweh Shai and the 144 of the nation of Israel on down to the rest of the elect. So it says the poor are often trampled by the powerful because those in authority are usually motivated by self-interest, not righteousness. So they don't fear the Lord. Okay.
That's right.
It says, he says, don't be surprised, not to make light of oppression, but to remind the reader that this is the natural outcome of human rule when men forget Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. It reflects a chain of command in which injustice is perpetuated and covered up at multiple levels. Multiple levels. So the corruption, the injustice, all right, in Babylon the Great goes up multiple levels. Okay?
That's right.
The ones that you see, the ones you can see so you can blame are not the ones who are truly behind it. All right? You have stooges and then you have comedians. All right, and I've been bringing this out for a bit now. When you go into that word stooge, a stooge is an assistant to a comedian on the stage. So the world's the stage. The stooges, which are the assistants to the comedians, are your politicians, your technocrats, your presidents, your governors, your ministers, your mayors, so on and so forth. The comedian are the top ruling class, the elite, the bankers that you don't see, and the jokes are being played on you.
That's right.
Okay? So it says one official answering to another until accountability is lost. The NLT's red tape and bureaucracy is a modern phrase of the Hebrew idea that one higher than another watches. Okay? That higher being, ultimately the Most High. Okay? It says, meaning layers of hierarchy and control where true justice gets buried under power struggles, bribery, and self-preservation. And that's the American system. Okay? The American system is predicated upon what? Layers of hierarchy and control, where true justice gets buried under power struggles, bribery, and self-preservation.
That's right.
All right. Is there any more here for us? Oh yeah. So verse 9, where it says, even the king milks the land for his own profit. This verse exposes economic exploitation at the top. Milking the land is a vivid image. It means that those in power extract wealth from people's labor and resources for their own gain. In ancient monarchies, kings often taxed the people heavily to fund luxury and wars. Today, this translates to unjust taxation, corporation greed, right? Because what's the corporation greed? Well, we'll come in, we'll lay all you people off, all you government workers, watch you complain, and have robots come and take over your jobs. We don't have to pay them. They don't need 6 days. All right, they don't complain, and they can work 24/7, 365. Okay, someone who runs a corporation is only thinking about the amount of money that's going to be siphoned back into his pockets, all right, concerning that idea. And they're going to do it. So unjust taxations, corporate greed, and economic systems that enrich elites while impoverishing the working class.
Milk them. Milk them. Milk them. Oh.
Yeah. So here it says, Ecclesiastes 5:8-9 pulls back the curtain on political and economic monarchy or machinery, the political and economic machinery of the world, showing that when man rules without Yahweh, Bashem Shai, corruption and oppression become systematic.
That's right.
Yep.
Systematic. That's right.
That's right.
The milking continues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Governments.
You get that.
Oh, look at this. This is something else here. It says modern parallels. It says modern parallels to today. Governments and corporations milking the land through resource extraction, inflation, and wage suppression. bureaucratic systems protecting elites instead of serving the poor. People feeling powerless under layers of political and economic control, exactly as Solomon warned. Yep.
Straight.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back here. We'll skip up ahead here.
Working families start talking about fleeing the country, you've moved beyond economic downturn into societal crisis. The government keeps telling us this is temporary, but the data tells a different story. For recent college graduates, unemployment jumped from 5.4% to 9.3% just since January. That's not a trend, that's a free fall. But here's where it gets really ugly. What happens when you do everything the system told you to do?
Tell me why I went to a fashion business school. Here's my degree. I went to a fashion business school and I cannot even get a job that makes more than $17 an hour. I work for big brands. Like I have experience working for luxury brands. I have multiple internships under my belt. I'm very smart. I'm very capable. And literally none of these places are hiring. Every single job, especially where I'm applying to in Manhattan, because it's the fashion capital of the world. I'm like, if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to be Manhattan. I cannot get a job that pays more than like $17 an hour. Like, am I going to be poor forever? Like, I'm just like, I can't. And people are like, just keep applying. I'm like, I've been applying every single day doing hundreds of applications. I'm about to call my school up and say that this degree that I spent 4 years trying to get, 4 years, was a waste of money.
4 years of specialized education, $17 an hour in Manhattan. This isn't about choosing the wrong major. This is about an economy that has abandoned the promise that education leads to opportunity. The system sold her a lie. Lift her with the bill. Now, let me tell you what's really accelerating this collapse. It's, artificial intelligence. It's estimated that AI has already eliminated over 20,000 jobs in 2025 alone, and we're not even talking about the indirect effects yet. Even industries we thought were safe are sending up warning flares.
Medical professionals or anybody looking to be a medical professional, please just listen to me. So be very careful. If you have not already made the decision to go into medical, you might want to think twice and make sure you double check a whole bunch of boxes because AI is literally taking over. If you have not heard of Agent Hospital, look it up. It can treat 3,000 patients in one day with zero human.
Agent Hospital. All right, so you can look that up for yourself. Agent Hospital. They have bots that can treat 3,000 patients a day. What human beings are going to keep up with that?
Over. If you have not heard of Agent Hospital, look it up. It can treat 3,000 patients in one day with zero human assistance. That's a robot. We also have things that are being piloted in labs, taking over lab assistants, taking over the scientists in the lab. We have people or programs that are taking over radiology positions because they can diagnose and put a treatment plan together for X-rays, CT scans, MRIs quicker with more accuracy rate. And then we've got things like the Da Vinci for surgeries, where it's completely, you're almost eliminating the human need in surgeries. It's the accuracy rate and the error rate is corrected by so much in so many areas. We also have things that are being piloted in the US, like little robot machines that come to the patients, and a doctor can operate it from outside of the area. But again, we already got a robot that can treat 3,000 patients in a day. Be very careful when looking into the medical field.
All right.
Straight.
So let's get some precepts here. Let me get Micah 2 and 1 real quick.
It's not a rest.
Okay, and it's an NLT. So Micah 2 verse 1. All right, NLT, it says, "What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn, and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so, and because they have an agenda." Okay, they have an agenda, and they're hurrying because they know Yahushua is soon come. All right, and their kingdom is about to be done. Okay, so hey, the top wicked elite, they know that the gravy train of America is finished. That's why they're going to try to hurry up and see everybody by the time Yahushua comes, but he won't get the elect. Okay, he won't get the hopeful elect. It says, verse 2, "When you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property," right? Property tax, interest, the whole 9 yards. "Stealing his family's inheritance." Okay? But this is what the Lord Yahweh says: "I will reward your evil with evil. You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose." You hear that? You won't be able to pull your neck out of the noose.
That's
You will
right.
no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time. And that's what we're gonna witness. So we're witnessing it right now. But again, like we always say, it's not at the climax yet.
It's not
When
beautiful.
soon come, it will hit the climax, and it'll be sudden to those of you that disregarded, mocked, and rebelled. Okay. And let me get this. This can be my last precept here. I'll get Ezekiel 7,
Okay.
also in the NLT. And I'm gonna read from verse 10 to 13. So Ezekiel 7 and 10, NLT. It reads, "The day of judgment is here. Your destruction awaits. The people's wickedness and pride have blossomed to a full flower.
See
Their
it?
violence, yep, their violence has grown into a rod that will beat them for their wickedness. None of these proud and wicked people will survive. All
right.
their wealth and prestige will be swept away." That's what's happening. Ultimately, it's going to be swept away by thermonuclear fire, but
That's
it's
right.
being swept away right now, proverbially, all
That's right.
right,
That's right. That's right.
through automation.
Final beatdown is the missiles. Yep.
Exactly. So, automation and unjust rulers. So it says here, verse 12, "Yes, the time has come. The day is here. Buyers should not rejoice over bargainings, nor sellers grieve over losses, for all of them will fall under my terrible anger." You see?
That's
And the
right.
Lord gave us a prelude of that during the C19. A lot of people, a lot of your mom and pop shops, all right, shut down and were never rebuilt or never came back in business. Okay, and so much more. It's going to go from your average mom and pop shops to your major Walmart stores. It's all going to change, man. Hence
That's right.
why they're pushing the narrative 15-minute cities. Everything you need 15 minutes away from you, right? Net zero, carbon net zero. Your carbon footprint, we want it net zero. A bunch of lies, man. It's just all about surveillance and control. So it says, verse 13, "Even if the merchants survive, they will never return to their businesses." For what? Yeah, because once you have AI, all right, and taking over jobs, they're never going to go back to human beings doing those jobs. Okay, this place will have to get destroyed before we go back to that. Okay, so those of you, all these people that have their businesses and are being laid off the job, all right, and can't keep up with the business because AI can do what they're doing better, you're never going to go back to that. Like you
That's right.
said, the old way will never come back.
Never.
Okay, so even if the merchants survive, they will never return to their businesses. But what
That's right.
Yahweh Shai has said applies to everyone. I will not be changed.
That's right.
It will not be changed. Right? And this includes us. Right? So we as well as believers, prophets, we have to expect, all right, and we have to know that we're gonna lose all our everyday conveniences and comforts, right? Which is okay. All right, that's fine. It's not gonna deter the whole full left. Why? Because we're in the spirit. Okay, we're hastening the day. We're in the spirit. Our minds are entangled, all right, with the affairs of this world. As the word is what a pilgrim, all right, someone traveling to a holy place. This is why the prophets were constantly warning through the apostles and bishops on down,
That's right.
right, the believers, not to have your mind not attached to this world. Don't have your mind armed with a thought of you not having these everyday conveniences, being able to warm your food up, have a warm bed to sleep in, a hot shower. The Lord is going to take care of his elect. Don't get us wrong. He will take
That's
care of his
right.
elect.
That's
But
right.
do not think for one moment he will not try you before he takes care of you.
Absolutely.
Okay? Do not think for one moment Yahweh Bashim Shah will not try you before he takes care of you. So you might have to go, we're all going to have to go a day or two or three without food, without those comforts to see if we're really about Yahweh Bashim Shah. And then those comforts and blessings will come. Okay?
Beautiful.
So it says, Verse 13, even if the merchants survive, they will never return to their businesses, for Yahweh, for what Yahweh has said applies to everyone. It will not change. It will not be changed. Not one person whose life is twisted by sin will recover. And this is why the whole elect, all right, will get the victory, because their lives, all right, being covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai, and their minds being washed by the word, all right, which is Yahweh Shai, the water,
That's right.
all right, has caused their lives not to be twisted by sin.
That's
In a
right.
sense where
That's right.
even though we go off every day, we don't make a practice of sin. A practice of anything, all right, starts with the mindset of that thing. Our mindset isn't to sin. Every single day we wake up, oh, I can't wait to do this. No. So therefore, the whole elect do not make a practice of it, and their minds and their lives aren't twisted by it. Sin.
That's right.
Okay? So that's it for me.
Beautiful. Which brings me to this. I'm going to read from the NLT today, 2 Corinthians 6, 9, and 10, the point, because Babylon has woken up to a life that they were lied to about, complete lies, right? Which is, it's really a rented life, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
They're told that they could buy this and buy that and buy this and buy that. So this brings me to the elect in what we are promised, okay? And this, Mike, is it Micah 2 and 10? This is not a rest. Excuse me for quoting it. Yep, Micah 2 and 10. So we know that this is not a rest, and we're encouraged here. So I'd like to finish off with this, right? From the NLT today. I'm going to read it. You folks can follow it from the KJV if you wish, straightforward. But the point is in verse 10 in regards to this life and what the elect is going to obtain. It says, we are ignored. We are ignored even though we are well known. We live close to death, right? Going into the chastening.
Yeah, Khan. No, I was just going to say, it's like, what does that mean, right? We are ignored even though we're well known. We're ignored, which means the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai is ignored and mocked at. But also for the same word, we're demonized. So we're known in a bad light, but we're ignored for the truth that we speak.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We know where we get our milk from. Anyway, I just say that brother knows what I'm talking about. Inside. Whoop. My screen just disappeared. One moment, brother. Yeah, okay, there we go.
I can read it for you. Okay, go ahead.
It came back up. Okay, it says we are ignored even though we are well known. We live close to death, going into the chastening as well, but we are still alive. We have been beaten, but we have not been killed. Right? And here's the point. 2 Corinthians 6 and 10 today from the NLT. It says, our hearts ache, but we always have joy. We are poor, but we give spiritual riches to others.
Yeah. So,
time.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say, our hearts ache, but we always have joy. So, guess what? We go through it, and we're going to go through it to an even higher level.
That's right.
Don't think we're going to be coasting through this thing like it's a slip and slide, water park. Okay? No, we're going to be going through this thing, and our hearts are going to ache, but guess what? We will have joy. Okay? It is one thing. Listen, it's one thing for everybody to be going through hell and then not know what happens at the end of it. Not see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? They're just in that tunnel, dark. No light. They don't even know if they're going the right direction. All they can hear is their voice. Maybe they hear other voices, don't know who it is. It's just complete madness and confusion. Okay? But the whole full elect, because of the Thawa, Yahweh Shai's sacrifice first and foremost, the love of the Most High by sending his son and his sacrifice,
that's right,
they're covered by his blood. They have the Holy Spirit. So they're gonna find comfort even though we're going through tribulation.
That's right.
That's it.
No, straight spiritual riches, right? Because the Holy Spirit's with them. Here's the point. We own nothing, and yet we have everything, right? So we know the twist in that is that this wicked system lies until the wicked system that lies and that's milking these people, okay? they have that same slogan, but we know it's exposed and it's all lies, right? So yes, we own nothing and yet have everything. That everything goes into what the brother just mentioned, the Rakakwadash. We believe that by faith that the Lord's going to take us through this, okay, and glorify us with spiritual powers, okay.
Yep. Yep.
So that, yeah,
Because how can we own nothing and yet still have everything? Well, we're not attached to this world.
that's right.
So yeah, we don't have the nicest stuff in this world. We don't, we're mediocre or less than mediocre men, but yet we have everything. Why? Because of the world to come. And the
Beautiful.
world to come, which is a rulership and age, is eternal. It's not going to fade away whatsoever. This world fades away. So if we have to be counted as poor, downtrodden, demonized in a fading world, so we can receive honor, glory, all right, and perfection and righteousness in a world to come that's eternal.
That's right.
Come on, man.
That's
The elect will get the victory.
That's right.
We will get the victory.
Beautiful. Straight. That's it. That's the everything there, and it's already given to the Lord's elect. He will guide them out. That's it. Wow.
All right, Khan. So low will in this lesson. All right, we're straightforward and edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakadosh. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. All right, and have taught us his word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with 144,000 that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, Abba, Kwam Masha'Allah. Kwam Masha'Allah, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the hopeful elect.